Hello, everyone. I suppose it's time for another ramble on my part. Since my month of changing things up is over, and in that month, I did post to my Facebook page a couple of things that I noticed that I won't be pulling out the whole graphs for you guys here, but I'll just say that in 3 weeks' time, by changing the format of this channel, I had 3 bursts of subscribers, and after about 14 months of being pretty much at the same subscriber level, steadily going along, making Ramble videos all the time for you guys, but never gaining in subscribers more than I'm losing subscribers. I gained about 600 subscribers in 3 weeks. Now the 4th week, I kind of took off for a little bit to see, if there would be any residuals from all of that, and so that one kind of flatlined again. And I expect that after making more Ramble videos, it'll flatline again, and I won't have any more growth. I'll have my great outlet that I like, you guys here on YouTube, and I'll be able to make rambles and get that cathartic release that I get. But, if I'm not going to be an asshole, I just expect that I'm not going to get a lot of subscribers. But I'll be drinking Mountain Dew nonetheless. I did see a couple of other things. I made a video in the middle of those 3 weeks where I was kind of, I just made the 3,000 subscriber mark, and I said, YouTube has not been giving me subscriber information, like you've been subscribed by. It's been around like 19% of the time that they give me the name of the person that subscribed or what their channel is. And it's been a while also that since I've gotten a new user has subscribed to you on YouTube, but then they didn't have their own channel. That happened when Google Plus first came out and people were able to subscribe to you without having their own channel, And for a while we were just getting like, you don't know who it is, but you'd at least get something, a blurb of something. Well, it may be that people are actually checking a box saying, don't share my information with others. Like, don't broadcast my information. Like, don't broadcast what I subscribe to or what I like or whatnot. And that might actually affect the people that they subscribe to knowing about them. That might be what's canceling it. So then I'd wonder, is it 81% of people don't like to broadcast their viewing habits? 81%? Seems kind of high, unless an update happened that set that as the default and didn't have some sort of fail-safe whereby people who didn't care either way weren't set to broadcast. So then everyone who doesn't go and check that box, they're basically muted, That could be the case. It seems very high, 81% of people not broadcasting their stuff. Maybe I am in the minority that I like to broadcast myself, both by making videos and just by publicizing what I liked and sharing things on Facebook and whatnot. Maybe those of us that do this, we are odd. Maybe. And maybe I just surround myself with odd people all the time, and I'm in hangouts and Skype calls with odd people, and we cling together. The seeks out the other odd. I don't know, but 81% seems kind of high. Unless, of course, it was hidden somewhere in the terms of service that, once you click this to convert your channel to the new format, that you're going to accept all these defaults, and then you have to go change them, and then nobody goes and investigates what was changed about my channel. So there's that. Then there was this weird feeling I had. And this one is like off the deep end. Like, I would not be surprised if somebody really ridiculed me for thinking this. But the first video I made as an asshole over my 1 month experiment, it was actually towards Happy Cabby. Now, I know that Happy Cabby has a lot of sock accounts. And one of his known sock accounts actually was in the comments of that video. And I've actually heard, in conversations that he was a part of, I was privy to, that he had hundreds. That he was actually saving really good names for channels. Like, every time he thought of a good name, he would make it. And then just squat all the good names. Which, I guess, back in the day when people got flagged off of YouTube, that would be a very good thing, to have your backup channel ready to go when your main channel at the time was in danger. Thing is, if the default of subscribing to people nowadays, unless you have checked that broadcast my everything box, if the default is that you don't know the name of somebody who subscribed to you, then it could be that somebody who just wants to fuck with your experiment because you have a beef with them could subscribe to you with a whole bunch of channels if they know that was what data you were looking at. So then I was thinking, how do I know that the 81% of people that I don't know what their channel name is, how do I know that they're not all Happy Cabby 1, Happy Cabby 2, Happy Cabby 3, Happy Cabby 4? And I suppose the moral of this story, the meta-analysis moral, would be, don't start shit with people on YouTube, because then you have to look over your shoulder all the fucking time, and you have to wonder about these things. Like, is somebody fucking with me? So, yeah, I don't even know, because I don't know what those channel names were, if they were auto-generated type names, because let's see, November of 2010, it was the case that a lot of us got subscribed by channels that were a girl's name, and then a 2-digit number, and then a generic family name, like Tanya 67 Johnson, and then Samantha 82 Smith, and a lot of us had like 100 subscribers all happen within a 1 month time, and it seemed like maybe somebody was paying some service, somewhere to bulk up their subscriber count with fake subscriptions, and then some of us were getting subscribed as like collateral damage, or they were trying to hide that these channels were fake by subscribing to a lot of people and then subscribing to that one person that was the target. Don't know. And, then we could see their names. You could actually look at a list of everyone who subscribed to you back then. Now, you can't do that. So, let's see. There's been a lot of things that in this past month away I've wanted to ramble about and then couldn't, because I was trying to keep the channel pure and away from long ramble videos and all response videos where I'm being a very negative person and very critical and condescending. And I suppose the most interesting one would be that recently I was taking a professional development course on infectious diseases, and this is in a career where you might actually have to tell people about infectious diseases. You need to know about them, so you need a certificate that says that you took this course on it, right? And in this state accredited course on infectious diseases, I was actually presented with a film, which was an AIDS denialism film. The name of the film is House of Numbers. It's here on YouTube. You can find it. But in the description box, I'm going to leave a link, not to the original film. I'm not saying go watch it. I'm going to leave a link to a guy named Myles Powers, who's already debunked everything in the video. See, me giving you this video would be like me linking to Zeitgeist or Loose Change or any other video that I know has already been debunked for all of that's wrong within it, and then just giving it to you and saying, hey, if you like this, you'll like it. And then the stupidity gets shared, because people are like, oh, wow, I never knew this. No, that's not what I'm saying about this House of Numbers video. House of Numbers is bullshit, right? And my problem in this course that I took was that it was not stated up front that the movie was bullshit and full of lies. And I've come to learn after the fact, after most people watched that film and then had a forum discussion online afterwards, that the instructor of this class actually knows it too, and intended for the movie to be controversial and have and us have a discussion about these things. Here's my problem with that. And a lot of you YouTubers will understand here. You get sent, in the course of learning something, a movie to watch. And you see some things in the movie that you think are very interesting. When is the most likely time that you're going to share that movie on Facebook? Like a link to it, or share, or click the like button, or leave comments on it that can later be traced back to you if somebody's looking at your activity. You're going to do it while you're watching it, or within the hour afterwards, right? But in this course that was being taught on this very controversial movie, basically, after people left forum posts saying that they'd learned something from this movie, which they hadn't, they'd actually learned misinformation, it took a couple hours to a day to 7 days for them to get admonished for learning something, and be told, no, this was actually given to you so you could think critically about it, so you would be able to, when you encounter someone else who has watched this movie, you'll be able to deal with them on that level, So it took a few hours for them to be responded to. Sometimes a day, sometimes many days, right? In that time, they could have shared the movie as a positive thing. Like, hey, I just saw this movie and it's awesome. It has all these new facts I never knew. And in any sort of scientific field, we have a duty to advocate good science, And I felt like in the course of what happened with that method of teaching, the instructor was patient 1, patient 0, like the initial vector for stupidity being spread. A stupid meme, okay? And that stupid meme, even though he was able to give all of his students, like later, an inoculation against it and, like, cure them. He had the cure, right? He had a link to other facts, and I also gave the Myles Powers videos in that forum. But he was able to see, oh, this person thinks they learned something, let me give them the facts. So he cured all of them. But in the amount of time that it took for him to do that, hours to a day to many days, they could have shared it with others who he's not corralling in. And just think about, like, when somebody learns that they have contracted HIV, they need to alert all their partners, right? They don't exactly have to track down all their partners, right? They kind of trust that their partners are going to do that. Well, if somebody puts out on their Facebook page, hey, I saw this wonderful movie, and they say have 400 friends, how do they know who to contact to go say, hey, this is not good science, and I actually have learned otherwise? And how many people will those people have shared it with? When something goes viral on the internet, it spreads like wildfire. And to initially give the credence to the movie of, oh, hey, I learned this in an infectious diseases course, this is an awesome movie, that just helps it spread even faster and with more authority. So I really felt like I had a legitimate ethics gripe with this person who was teaching the class, and I'm still talking to this person about it. And yeah, we have a duty to advocate for good science, and also, whenever we talk about bad science, we need to talk about it in the context of it being discredited or not validated at all. We need to state that implicitly, and never let people look at something as though you are endorsing it without letting them know, this is junk. Don't learn anything from this. Just look at how these people are talking about this, and then we'll come back and discuss it. And by the way, don't push the like button. Don't share it on Facebook until we've discussed it afterwards. So that's the most interesting thing that's happened to me in the last week. But I'll probably, in the next few rambles, let loose some other things that happened in this past month. Take care, everyone.